Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to That's Hat Podcast on YouTube. I was just recently talking to Mr. Brandon. Fuck, dude, I'm so sorry. I can't remember what name you use when you post on YouTube. One of the guys that comments fairly often on my videos. He watches a good amount of them. I appreciate it, man. About these multi-packs. He's talking about how you just ordered a whole slew of the horror ones. And I really enjoy the horror ones. What I really liked is towards the end of their life, BCI used to be Brentwood. Everybody remembers Brentwood in packs of like 10 films across 8 films, 10 films across 4 or 5 DVDs. You know, usually public domain shit. But they got a hold of the Crown International library. I love Crown International. I really do. Crown International is just like the greatest 70s up into the early to mid 80s drive-in company. And by the early mid 80s, they were making it felt like their shit was more for home video or cable. And they made just slightly sleazy, sometimes really sleazy comedies. We got here, this is a 4-pack. We got Weekend Pass with Chip McAllister and Peter Ellenstein. No fucking clue who this. 72 Hours of Liberty to forget everything the Navy has ever taught them. Hunk. He made a devil of a deal, now there's hell to pay. Joan Allen Nelson, Stephen Levitt, Rebecca Bush, Robert Morose, and James Coco. The Pom Pom Girls. Whoa, name actually. Robert Carradine. People my age will best know him as playing. He's what part of the Carradine family, of course. Louis Skolnick, Revenge of the Nerds. People younger, he was the dad on Lizzie McGuire. That's the 2 roles I remember him the most for. This is a very unusual role for him. And then we have The Van with, and it says here, Bobby couldn't make it till he went fun trucking. Stan Getz, and a very early appearance of Danny DeVito. That would be 77, so that's pre-Taxi. All right. So let's see what they say on the back here. And I'll be honest, out of all these, I'd seen The Van and Pom Pom Girls before. I had them on. They're on one of the drive-in sets. I got this for Weekend Pass and Hunk, and, well, you'll see. Weekend Pass. 4 sailors who just completed basic training in San Diego and were granted liberty for one long weekend before they go their respective ways in the Navy. With passes in hand, they head for LA for a little fun. They have several adventures in Watts, Venice Beach, and a strip bar before they meet some ladies interested in a man in uniform. They have on Crazy Times, should be 1 probably, I bet, before they end up at Union Station and part ways for the open sea. Starring D.W. Brown, Patrick Hauser, Chip McAllister, and Phil Hartman. Holy shit. That's an early, I forgot he was in that. I have not watched Weekend Pass in quite a while. 84, Crown International, comedy, 92 minutes radar. It's a TNA. There's a lot of these 80s and 70s TNA comedies. Back before porn was so easily accessible, this shit was made. And it made money because the cable, well, people go watch them in theaters. And then home video and, you know, the pay channels, if you lived in the States or Canada, you know, your HBOs, your Showtimes, your Showcases, your Super Channels, all that shit. With shitties, and this was porn. Tits and ass. It's okay. I don't remember how big Phil Hartman's part is. I'm betting that he got him listed and he's got a very small part. Okay, Hunk. And Weekend Pass, it's okay. It's kind of funny in a couple parts. It's not great. Hunk. Bradley Brinkman is just an average guy, but he wants to be someone special when along comes a sexy apparition, Deborah Shelton, who offers to make him the sexiest guy in Sea Spray, a lush California beach spot. That's everything. 90% of your Crown International shit was shot in California. As Goat from Hillbilly DVD Reviews, check them out on YouTube. I don't know if he's put anything up recently, but he's got old stuff up there that's worth watching. Called the 70s Crown shit we watch on episode of Exploit Cinema. He called it California porn. Just surfing, sun, and sand, and fun. California beach spot. For just a small piece of his soul, Dr. D, James Coco, will transform him into a stud. He signs on the dotted line. In the morning, Bradley now is turned into Hunk Golden, John Allen Nelson. Suddenly, women want him, and guys aim at him. After a television appearance, he becomes a national sensation, but Bradley is going to be happy. But is Bradley going to be happy with his newfound success, or is there hell to pay for being a hunk? 1987, 102 minutes, rated PG. That's the issue with this one. Even in 87, you could probably do a little bit of nudity in PG. Not enough to make one of these movies worth the shit. So you're like, that's 2. And there's the Hunk guy. And then we get down to the Pom Pom Girls. High school football player Johnny, Robert Carradine. Yes, Robert Carradine, the nerd from Lewis Gold and Revenge of the Nerds. He was the nerd in Massacre at Central High, was the hippie. I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen that in so damn long. Great film. He plays the high school. Spent his senior year at Rosedale High, playing pranks and getting together with as many girls as possible. He and a buddy, along with 2 cheerleaders, are going to make their last year memorable. The big game, where rival Hardin High School is approaching, and a prank war is about to rev into full swing. All right. Only our person I'm naming this shit. You got Robert Carradine and Michael Mullins, no idea who that is. Jennifer Ashley, James Gann. Cult diva Cheryl Rainbow Smith has a cameo appearance as what else? A member of the Trillion Squad. I've heard, because this is rated R, 90 minutes, that the version on this is slightly cut. Because for a film of this nature, there's not as much nudity as you expect. There's a lot of tease, but not as much, nudity. I've heard there's a slightly longer cut of this. It's full frame from what I remember. It's entertaining, but it's not great. It's pre-Animal House, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It kind of feels like Animal House. There's a prank when they steal a fire truck. It's okay. Really, this pack's been a dud, honestly, so far. The film's okay, but it ain't worth, because this was probably $5. Then we got The Van. Now, this is the real standout of this set. This is probably the best film on here. And it's back in the 70s where vans were hot. Okay, Pom Pom Girls is 76. The Van is 77. Bobby is an average. What is it about Crown International shit and people being named Bobby? The lead guy in Van Nuys Boulevard is named Bobby. Bobby is an average teenager whose only interests are hot cars and hot girls. He sends his money on a sweet van, hoping that his new wheels he'll finally be able to score. When his friend Andy, Danny DeVito, needs some cash to get him out of a predicament, Bobby loans him the money from his next car payment. Now, Bobby must enter a drag race to win the money to save his van and win the heart of a girl. This is fucking great. Okay, rated R, 90 minutes, 77. So there's so many just great scenes. The food drive-in scenes, like, what do they used to call those? Kind of like Sonic is now, but bigger. There's a scene in one of those where he hooks up this really, really chubby woman. He's got a water bed in the back of his van, and she ends up fucking him and busting the bed. Oh, it's so good. And Danny DeVito is so great in this. And it's very young Danny DeVito. This is like that pre-Taxi. And the neat thing is that they actually, instead of packing all 4 on one disc, it's 2 discs, 2 films per disc. You can do that with these short as these films are. Good compression technology, you can fit it. It's out of print, of course. VCI is long gone. The weird thing is that these 2 showed up in, like, Mill Creek got the Crown International license. And I want to say the Pom Pom Girls has probably come out from, like, Vinegar Syndrome or one of those. Between Code Red, Scorpion, and Vinegar Syndrome, a lot of the bigger Crown International shit's hitting. Weekend Pass and Hunk, a lot of the 80s stuff is kind of forgotten. And Crown International is still around. The newest movie I could find that kind of had any hand in was from 2000 or 2003. And it was called, what was it, Malibu Spring Break Beach or something like this. I've got a rip of it. I don't know where I found. I've never seen a physical copy of this, but they are still kind of around. They still have a website. I love Crown. If you want to know a little bit more about Crown and more about some of the stuff they made, go. Hopefully it's out by now. Go check Talk Shoot. There's no date when I'm recording this, but Bad if you're watching, Dale if you're watching, Streetbot, I don't know if you watch or not. I just started listening to the episode that all 3 of y'all on MVP Mutantville Players Radio, MVP Radio. And Bad, you mentioned that by the end of that month, and that was recorded last month if I'm remembering right, all the episodes of Exploited will be back up. Go look on TalkShoe, www.talkshoe.com for Exploited Cinema Podcast, and it's towards the end of the run. There's an episode, it's Van Nuys Boulevard and Malibu Beach, which are two of the best Crown non-horror, 2 of the best Crown comedies. And we go into a little detail Crown International. It's me, Goat of Hillbilly DVD Reviews, and of course, Exploited Cinema. And he's got a new podcast, and Goat, I'm sorry, I don't remember what the name of it is. And then you got Dale Roy of Exploited Cinema, and he does Canadian Assault. Look up Canadian Assault. It's a metal zine that he printed for years, and now it's an online version. Really cool stuff if you're in that type of music. We talk about a lot about Crown. I love Crown. I really fucking love. I want every fucking picture Crown put out. And thanks to these little cheap packs, I've got most of them. And this is kind of neat because I do really enjoy the van. And the other copy I got's like a flipper disc. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that. You know, if you've seen any of these films, let me know. You know, is there anybody else out there who loves the Crown shit? And how'd you get into them? It seems most people have gotten into Crown, learned about them through these DVDs. Like Rhino's released, a bunch of companies released this shit. It must be really cheap to like. And most of it, at least of the pre-80s stuff, is on YouTube. Or was as of like a year or two ago. So go check it out. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, remember, give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.